everybody, Thrifty Teresa here. Thank you for joining me again for another Etsy seller interview. Today I'm really excited to have Laura Cantu on the phone with me here. She has a very successful Etsy shop named LauraTrev1. She also has a YouTube channel, and I'll put links to both of those below. Laura is a fairly new seller. She's been selling around the same amount of time as me, maybe a little less than a year or so. But when I first saw her Etsy shop, she had only been open for a couple of months, and she had tons of sales already. Laura is the inspiration for me wanting to do these interviews because I want to know how she got her shop so successful, and I'm really excited to talk to her today. Thank you so much for joining me, Laura.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I honestly, when you sent me that message that you wanted me to be on here, I was so excited. I felt so honored. I said, oh my gosh, like, being so many people out there, and she picked me. So that was very exciting.
I picked you because so many months ago you sent me the message on my YouTube saying, oh, I recently opened up an Etsy shop and I'm really having fun. So I went to check it out and I saw you'd only been open for a short period of time. It's like, this woman must have magic or something. So it's like, I want to know you. I want to pick your brain. I want to hear all about your adventures selling on Etsy. So where are you from? Where do you live?
I'm from Texas, from South Texas. I'm like literally about 5 minutes from Mexico. I'm like way at the border, South Texas. So yeah, we're from Texas girl, and born and raised. And I do have a son. He's 11 years old now, and now he's all into the vintage items and toys and all that sort of stuff as well. He loves it. He says, "Mom, why
Does
aren't
he
our
help you
toys?"
shop?
Yes, he's become so familiar with the items from back then that he says, "Mom, I think I have an old soul."
That's great.
Yeah, so now it's like I'll take him with me, and we have fun together shopping, and sometimes he'll spot things that I don't even spot. So it's exciting to have him to come along. Yeah.
Great. So how did you find Etsy? What brought you to Etsy and made you want to open up an Etsy shop?
Well, basically, I've always loved 80s, 90s toys. I've always I've had like an obsession with it. And I would go, flea markets, thrift stores, and I would just buy stuff for myself. I would see a doll, and then, it just eventually I just would come home with plushes and dolls and all these items. And my husband started saying, okay, this is accumulating. We need to start selling these because our room is turning into a kid's toy shop or some sort. And yeah, he kept telling me, and I kind of didn't want to do it because I was afraid. I didn't think nobody was going to want to buy from me, or anything. So it just started that way. So yeah, eventually I started selling on Instagram, but there is more like seller to seller because I would see that other people would do it. And I said, okay, I think I can do it too. And I started doing there. But it was like minor sales. But there was one sale that I said, you know what, I think I should do it, was because I saw the My Little Ponies. I found a bunch at the store. And I just, I remember I paid like $2 a piece. And I even thought, okay, I'm going crazy because I paid $40 for like, I don't know, like 20 ponies or so. And so I said, okay, I need to really make my money back on this because my husband's going to kill me for buying $40 worth of ponies.
That's a lot of ponies.
Yes. And sure enough, I sold them. And that same night, I think I came home, I cleaned them up. And by the end of the night, I had sold every one of them, and I had made $184.
Amazing.
And
that, selling those ponies, was that on Instagram or on Etsy?
Yeah, that was on Instagram. And that's what made me sell on Etsy. I said, okay, if I did this here,
that's wonderful.
I can, I can turn around and open a shop like my husband has always told me. So I did that, and I just started, putting. I think the first time I put like 5 items, and once I think it was like a month into it, and once my first item sold, I said, wow, like people are really gonna buy from me, and so I just was so excited. And I think my first sale was an elf puppet. And
Elf, yeah.
Elf. And I think I sold them only for like $8. And I said, oh my gosh, I made $8. You know, it was the most exciting thing for me. And I was just very excited about it. And from there, I just, you know, every day I just would add like 5 more items, and, you know, and so forth. And by the time I knew it, just people were buying, and reading all the feedback it just made me so happy. It just makes my day. Till this day, it makes my day, like when I read the comments and all this. Just love it. And yeah.
That's one of my favorite parts about it too, is when people give me good feedback. And the fact that you're selling things that you originally bought for yourself, that these were things that you wanted to keep, these toys that you loved, being able to sell them and know that somebody else appreciates them as much as you do is a really great feeling.
Oh, yes, yes. I just love it. I love the stories that come with it. I know just a couple of days ago, I did sell a glowworm, and the lady said, I want this for my daughter. She's gonna be, I think she said she was gonna turn like 38 or so. And she said, I want to give her this because I know she's going to be so excited and she's going to cherish it. And she sent me a picture of her daughter with her original little glowworm when she was a kid. You know,
Oh,
so she's giving it to her again. And I was just so happy. And I said, oh my gosh, like she's really going to be happy.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
So you had your very first sale was Elf. How long before you started getting frequent sales a few times a week or a few times a day?
Well, I think at first it was probably, I think like my first week was like maybe like that one sale, and then like probably the next week it was like 2 sales, and then I think I was like the next week it was like I sold like I think it was like 2 or 3 items, and I only made like $20 for that week, and I was so happy. I remember I said, oh my gosh, I made 3 sales this week, you know, and it was just but I just kept going, and every day I remember I put like a couple of items, and, you know, even if it's like 3, 4 items, even if I have like a big inventory in my house of stuff that I haven't put up, I do put at least 1 or 2 every day, or, you know, I try and put at least 5 a day.
Okay.
If I have the inventory, if I have less items, you know, than I haven't listed, well, then I'll put like 1 or 2. But I do try and put, you know, that way my shop's always out there, you know, and it's people are always like seeing new things. So I think that's helped a lot.
It's very helpful to list a few things a day or relist things because things do expire.
Yes.
For those that don't know, Etsy charges you 20 cents per listing, and you charge that 20 cents up front. And then, but that gives you 4 months to have that item in your shop before it expires. So I think that's a great price for the amount of time that that item gets to be in your shop.
Yes.
But then when it expires, you can decide if you want to relist it. And relisting can be just as important as listing new items, because again, the more you put in your shop, the higher you're going to be in the search results. And a great way to build your brand is to be listing on a regular basis.
Yes. Yes.
So your shop hasn't quite had like the 1-year anniversary yet. Do you know what your anniversary date is?
It would be in April since I opened it, but really my first sale was in
So
July.
it has been a year then. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was in, I know it was in April. It was a year, and in July actually was my first sale. So it was open a couple of months before I actually had a sale.
That's all right. That's the way it usually happens. I think it took me at least a good month or more before I got my first sale on Thrifty Teresa. And same thing when I was selling handmade stuff. It takes time and it takes patience. It also takes effort on your part to keep listing and keep putting new stuff in there and making your shop fresh.
Yes.
So now, since it's been about a year, you have had way over 500 sales, which is awesome.
Yes. Yes, it is crazy how many.
On average, how many items do you sell each week on average?
On average, I would say about 10, maybe. About 10 a week. Yes. I mean, there's some weeks that, it's a little more. There's, of course, some less, but an average, I would say about 10, because sometimes it's like I won't sell anything on one day and then the next day I'll sell like 2 or 3 items. So it
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just the way it is, but, and yeah, an
I
average,
get
I
that
would say
too.
like maybe like 10, maybe 15 items per week, sort of more like
That's a good average. And so primarily your main focus is vintage toys from, you say, the 80s and 90s.
that.
Do you have what else do you have in your shop besides toys?
I do have some jewelry. I have mugs. I just started buying mugs. The same thing. I buy like a lot of characters, Garfield and like stuff like that. A lot of mugs. Just and yeah, it's like I think like a lot of what it is. My items, they don't sell for that much, but they sell a lot. It's like
Yeah.
they're always in movement. So, and I like that. I like that because, maybe it's not a lot of it's not a big sale that one day, but once you sell 2 or 3 items, it's worth it. Yeah. But I do
Absolutely.
have,
Absolutely.
yeah, I like it that way. And, and yeah, and I do have like mugs, and I have a couple of jewelry items, but the main thing is toys. Yeah. It's character related things,
Toys.
basically.
Absolutely. And those are highly collectible, not
Yeah.
only from the fact of the nostalgia, like you were saying, your customer had this item as a child and now she's, almost 40
Yeah.
years old and she can have that toy again.
Right.
But also the people who are fans and collectors. The Garfield's a big one,
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles, Alf,
Yes.
of
Yes.
course, Alf. I
Oh
love
yeah.
Alf too. I've had a couple Alf sales in my shop, and mostly because of my dad. My dad sells a lot of the same kind of stuff that you do, all the toys and the pop culture items. He's a big kid. He loves that stuff. I shouldn't show him your shop because he would probably buy a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have anything that you wanted to show us today? Some items that you have in your shop or stuff that you're going to list soon?
Yeah, I do have a couple of items. I do want to show you all, being that this video is, I want to show you an item that I always sell, and that also, like, if anybody out there, you just kind of like a tip, so that people can know, okay, I see this one, I can make $10, $20, easy $10, $20. And that item is Barney character, Barney. Surprisingly,
Okay.
yes, surprisingly, I know it's kind of crazy, but surprisingly, people buy Barney a lot. I mean, I think probably from my sales, I probably sell Barney 2-3 times a week. I'm talking like,
That's amazing.
it's crazy, and he's from the 90s. This one in particular is 1992, 1992, 1993. It's crazy how many people look for Barney. I said I used to hate Barney, now I love Barney.
That's great. Great
Yeah.
tip. I'm going to have to start looking for Barney items. I never would have thought.
Yes, I know, it's one of those crazy things. I started this. I remember the first time that I posted, and I said I don't think nobody likes Barney, but I said I'm gonna give it a shot, and it sold. And then I posted another one and another one. I probably have sold, I don't know, over 40 Barneys in my shop. Like, people buy them like
And
crazy.
what sort of price range do you sell them at?
About $20, $15, $20, just depending on the size, and the condition. But yes, $15, $20 is what I sell. But I know I've seen people that sell them for more. I've sold Barney like little lunch bags, Barney little backpacks, Barney books for like $10. But yeah, just Barney. I don't know.
That's excellent. I think some people, when they think of Etsy, they only think of people who make handmade items, the craft
Yes.
sellers and the jewelry makers and things like that.
Right.
And more and more, Etsy is becoming more popular with vintage. But again, when people think about vintage, they think of Mad Men and the mid-century modern,
Yes.
or very precious antiques and glassware.
Exactly.
But vintage, according to Etsy, is anything that's 20 years old or
Yes.
older. So that's 1996. That's like yesterday.
Exactly.
It's Barney, you know.
Exactly. You know, you
Barney
wouldn't think.
Barney's probably still on the television, but
Yes.
he is vintage. You can sell those items. So that's a great point.
Yeah, that's one of the things. That's why I brought him along, because I did want to mention. A lot of people think, you know, he's still on TV. He's not vintage. He's not old. But Barney is really old. You know, he's from the 90s, and as long as he's from the 90s, he can sell on Etsy. And people look for, especially because I think he sells a lot because the TV show's still on. Yet you go to the stores and they don't sell Barneys anymore. Like, I guess they stopped manufacturing, or they have like the newer Barney items, a little bit of it. So I think that's why it sells a lot, because I actually have gone to Walmart, I've gone to, you know, like different places, and they don't have Barney items, but the show's still on TV. So I think that's why people buy a lot of Barney on Etsy, because they can't find it at the store.
That's really smart. Great point. What else did you have to show us?
Yes, I have another item that I did want to show, and it is another toy. And this one, it's this, and this is a Twinkle Bear, and this one's from 1995. This is one of those that you don't find very often, that a lot of people don't know about, but the people, or, you know, the kids, the 90s kids, 80s kids, know about it. And it's one of those items that are just, you see it and it's very rare to find, but you can sell it for like over $60. And
it's called a Twinkle Bear?
Twinkle Bear. Twinkle Bear.
Okay. Is there any other characters in that series, or is it just the bear?
It's just the bear. It's just, there's like 3 different colors. It's this one, and I think there's a pink, and there's a yellow. But yeah, and he was just very popular at the time, and I've already come across 2, which was the one that I sold him for $60, and I now have this one that I found. So it's just crazy, you know, the amount of money that people are willing to buy it, but especially because it's an item that you don't find very often. It's a different from Barney, which you can find a lot everywhere you see them, and this one you don't see a lot, yet it can sell for a good amount.
So it seems you have a lot of plush items. Can you give us any tips about buying plush or shipping plush items?
Yes, sometimes I go and I buy you know, these items, and I just make sure that they're going to be able to be cleaned. That's like the main thing, because if you can't clean it, it's not going to look right. It's not going to look nice. People are not going to want to buy it, or they might buy it, but they're not going to want to pay that much. So yeah, sometimes they're dirty, because I've come across some, for example, like the Barney again. You know, if he's a little bit dirty, but I think I can wash him off, and, you know, if I can wash him and clean him up, well, I can list him. Even just make sure, and especially with plushes, you know, like the eyes, they do tend to scratch, or, you know, miss a little bit paint. Just make sure and note on that, you know, on your description, just make sure and mention it. You know what, the hair is a little bit matted, or the eyes have a scratch, or the paint is a little worn, you know, and people will still buy it. So I mean, as long as you can clean it, I mean, it's fine. You can always buy it even if he's dirty. He's still gonna be a good sell, you know. That's the main thing.
And how about shipping the plush items? Do you primarily just use boxes? Do you use any of the like poly mailers? How do you usually ship your plush toys?
I usually send them poly mailer. Yeah, just an envelope, one of those like plastic envelopes. I usually send them in those, unless, of course, it's one that's going to be either too heavy where it can rip, or sometimes it's like a battery operated kind of thing. Well, yeah, then I'll put it in a box, or depending if it's going to go out of country as well. If it's going to another place, of course, I'm not going to send it, you know, in a plastic where it can, you know, get damaged on the way. It just depends on that.
Okay. Did you have anything else besides Barney and the Twinkle Bear?
Yes. One more thing that I wanted to show you was...
I love the show and tell. It's my favorite part of the show.
Yes. I buy a lot of neckties. Just neckties. These things sell like crazy also. This is one of my big sellers also. See, there's like just neckties. I have this Harley Davidson one, and then I have this Looney Tunes. Winnie the Pooh, you know, just stuff like that. These kinds of character ties will sell a lot. I've sold so many of them, and they're so easy to mail. You know, I get these for like $2 for $1, $2 maybe, and they sell for a good amount. I mean, they sell anywhere from $10 to $30. Just today, and I'm gonna show this. This isn't mine anymore because it just sold right before I came on. But yeah, I found this Star Wars tie, and
Wow.
yeah, I found this, and it actually sold for $26. So yeah, yeah, and I didn't pay much for it. So it was a good amount. And, you know, so these are like one thing that I would recommend, you know, if somebody, I don't really sell a lot of clothing on my shop. I think I have like 2 listings for clothing, but the ties I do, ties and scarves, they sell a lot. I have sold many of them, and they're so easy, you know, to lift.
Specifically if they have some sort of character on them, rather than just your regular striped tie is kind of boring, but
exactly. Something fun,
something exciting on them.
Yes, people like fun and exciting. I know for in St. Patrick's, I had found one that had like 4-leaf clovers everywhere, bunch of 4-leaf clovers, and sure enough, it sold. It sold on you know, around St. Patrick's. So it just depends on the season, you know. There's a lot of the Christmas ones, and all of that sells a lot. And like I said, they're easy. They're easy finds and easy to sell.
So now that you've got a really great, established, popular Etsy shop, do you still sell on Instagram? Do you sell on eBay or any other platforms?
I haven't sold anything on eBay. I really haven't opened a shop even. I guess I'm a little iffy because of I don't know. I think it'll be eventually. I'll do it, but for now, no, I haven't sold on eBay or on Amazon. I have not. But I do still sell on Instagram. But on Instagram, since it's seller to seller, I can sell like newer things, or, you know, any items basically. So I still do that. But whenever I have like any like newer items that I can't put on Etsy, well, I'll put them on Instagram.
That's a great idea. Do you have any goals for your shop? You've had your 1-year anniversary now. Is there any goals, whether it be a certain number of sales per week or a certain dollar amount that you make per month?
Well, I have been selling, I probably make around an average of like 200 a week. Because like I said, some, you know, depends on how many items I sold. And my items, like I said, aren't very pricey items. So an average that's about what I'm making. Probably months ago, I set my goal to $100. And then, you know, so I saw that, okay, I was selling a little bit more. So, okay, I'm going to bump it up to 150. And
you gotta keep bumping it up, I think.
I said, okay, I gotta hit that goal, and yeah, I think I got to that, and right now I'm in a point to where I'm selling, you know, about 200 a week or so. So I think right now I'm okay with that.
I think that's a fantastic goal. That's wonderful, and you've achieved it already. So now it's a matter of sustaining it. You know, can I always make $200 a week?
Exactly.
And then you can think about increasing it as the time goes on.
Yes. Yeah, that's
so your son likes to help you shop for the toys. He's an old soul. Does anybody else, your friends or family, help you with your selling business?
Well, my niece comes along with me. Usually it's like me, my son, my niece, and myself. We go shopping. We go and do the shopping, you know, let's go shopping. So, you know, we go and have fun and, you know, see what we can find. But, and then at the house, we do sort it out to where especially since I do, the way that I store my items is by character, because I have so many toys, so many plushes, that it's hard to find, you know. I have like a big storage box for the jewelry that I kind of separate all the earrings, all the, you know, the necklaces. I do it like that. But when it comes to toys, I do it by character. I have like all the Barneys.
That makes a lot of sense.
I put all the Barneys here. I put all the Garfields here. You know, I do it by character because it's the easiest way that I found. Because before it was crazy to find. Okay, I sold this. Where is it? And it was just crazy. It's in the toys, but everything's toys, you know. So I just.
So now you got a big box of purple dinosaurs, a big box of orange cats.
Yes, so that's how I did it. Yeah, that's the way I was able to figure it out. And now I have like all my ties in one section, and I kind of do it like that. And my niece takes care of that. So basically, she helps me a lot with that, the organizing. I I do the shopping, and I do the I take the pictures. I like taking outside pictures. I did buy one of those. Like those shade boxes, like to take pictures.
Yes.
Okay, so I bought one of those. I was so excited. I said, "Oh, my pictures are gonna be so nice," but I can't deal with opening it every time. So I said, "No, I'll do the outside." So I just take my pictures outside.
Well, you've got great weather. Being, in the south of Texas, you've got great sunshine most of the year.
Yes,
it's even bright and shiny in the winter. So if I was, somewhere up north, like we interviewed Angie and Alyssa that are up in Pennsylvania, where they get lots of snow and stuff, they might not be able to take the outside photos. But outside lighting is fantastic for taking product photos because it helps with the natural colors with the photography. So you're lucky to have the ability to do that.
Yeah, so that's works for me. It's a good thing that I'm down here. But my niece helps me that. Basically, I take the pictures and then I give her the tub. Okay, all of this is ready to be put away, and she already knows. Okay, the Barney goes with the Barney, and so it's just easier to find when an item.
It's a good system.
Yeah, it's easier. It's been easier to just find the stuff because it can get crazy accumulating.
Now, do you have any other special tools or resources that you use to sell besides selling on Instagram? Do you have any websites or apps that you use?
I don't, but what I do is I try and every so often I will go and post whenever I you know how it has like the little links of Facebook and Pinterest and all this. I usually click the Pinterest one. And my items will appear on my Pinterest. So I have seen a lot of people, favoring it in the Pinterest. And then of course from there, they'll, and I do have it named Etsy. So people know to go find the item and because it gives the link so they can go to the Etsy shop. So I've been doing a lot of the pinning for Pinterest. I do that a lot.
I think that's got to be great advertising for you because I know my favorite thing when I'm on Pinterest is seeing all the old stuff from my childhood. I have an entire board of pins from things that I had as a kid, like Care Bears and Cabbage Patch Kids, and I didn't have Barney. Barney was a little too much for me. I'm a little older than that. But all the strawberry shortcakes and the My Little Ponies, and that is just fun for everybody. So I imagine you get a lot of advertising from Pinterest.
Yes. So that's like probably my main thing is the Pinterest. I do post a lot on there. I pin a lot of my items.
And Pinterest is one of the things that can show up in your Etsy stats. So if somebody finds your item on Pinterest, clicks to it to your Etsy shop, your daily Etsy stat should show you how many views come from Pinterest.
Yes.
So it's a great form of advertising.
But yes. Yeah, right.
So besides selling and collecting toys, do you have any other hobbies?
Yes. Well, I like reading a lot. I'm a big reader. I like reading. And like I said, I mean, flea markets, thrift stores, that's always really been a hobby for me. I always like going and I like since I was a little girl, I would just have fun. We would go, my mom, she would take me. So actually this is kind of like reminds me of my childhood as well, because my mom used to take me to thrift stores at the time, because at the time it was because we didn't have a lot of money to go to the, to the stores. So my mom, instead of taking me to Walmart, she would take me to a thrift store to pick something out. And it was just so exciting to look and, and see what I can find today. And as I grew, I just continued doing it, and I just find it so fun. And sometimes I tell my son even, you want to go shopping? And he's like, yes, mom, I want to go get a vintage toy. And I said, okay. So now he thinks going there instead of going to Walmart. So, but it's because he's so used to the vintage toys. He just loves it.
Does he get any sort of reward or special gift for being your helper?
Oh yes, definitely. There's times where we'll go shopping and he says, "Mom, look what I found, but can I keep it?" I said, "You're supposed to be helping me here." But so yeah, once in a while, I'll let him keep an item that he finds, and of course, once an item sells, like that's his biggest accomplishment is when something that he finds sells. I said, "Dad, look what sold," and he says, "Oh my gosh, Mom, I found that one." That is just so exciting for him. He just loves it. So I think I kind of and now just a couple of days ago he says, "Mom, all these toys that you've been giving me, well, when I'm bigger, they're gonna be like 10, 20 years older than they already are. So Mom, one day if I don't have money, I'm just gonna sell those." So now
He's a smart boy.
so now he's thinking of selling, and he just and even like sometimes we'll go out to eat. I'll take him out to eat. He loves going out to eat. He's a boy. He's an 11-year-old, so he loves eating. So he says, "Mom, can we go out to eat?" And yes. So he says, we'll be in the car, and he says, "Mom, we went out to eat thanks to Etsy and thanks to God."
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, because he knows that, and that's another thing that I wanted to mention. I am a mom, and I did start a lot of myself because my husband kind of pushed me, you can do this, you can do this. But another thing that also made me do it was because probably a year before I was having money troubles. And I mean, I was making enough with my job to where I could, we could pay the mortgage or the bills, and all this between my husband and I. But I didn't have that extra money to take my son maybe to go out to eat, or maybe to go and buy him his special toy or his special books, because he loves reading. So he's, "Mom, I want to go to Barnes and Nobles." And sometimes I didn't have those $10, $20 that one book was going to cost. And it was hard for me to tell it I can't, So it was just kind of the struggle. And then now I'm able to do that, and it just makes me so happy. It's made a big difference in my life. I'm not saying I'm making like all this money, I'm not, but if I make $10, $20 in that one day, it's those $10, $20 I didn't have in my pocket before, and it just made a big difference. And now I'm able, and I was actually thinking of getting a second job, because I did have a second job at one point to be able to do that. But then I had that money, yet I was always gone from home. And my son would say, "Mom, I miss you. I don't ever see you." And it was, yeah. So it was just hard, because now I had the money, but I didn't have the time to take him out, or to take him out to eat, or to take him, somewhere. And now it's like, okay, I do it from home. So I have my job to take care of this, but now I have this where not only do we shop together for the items to sell, but now we actually, get a little bit of money to be able to go out to eat, or, to treat him to things. So that's just, as a mom, that is so important to me, and it just has made a big difference, and it's what makes me want to do it every day.
And it's wonderful that he understands that too, that he's grateful
Yes.
when you guys are able to go celebrate when something, sells, or
Yes.
he's able to see the accomplishments and share in that excitement with you. That's beautiful. Yes. That's absolutely beautiful.
Yes, definitely.
So besides shopping for your Etsy shop, do you also buy on Etsy? Is there anything you like to purchase online, or anything that you collect besides toys?
Well, I do collect trolls, which is another type of toy. But I have bought toys on Etsy. I did find a troll, like a huge troll, and I didn't have any big ones, so I was able to get a huge one.
How big was this troll doll?
She was, I believe, like 19 inches. She was huge.
Oh.
And I didn't even know they made them that size. So when I came across it, I said, "Oh my gosh, I have to have it." And it was in I think I got it for like $20, which was not bad at all. She was pretty dirty when I got her, so it took a lot of cleaning and fixing her hair and all this, but she was a great item, once I fixed her up. But yeah, I like looking at that, and I love like searching. I just love looking through old items because and also Etsy. What I do is like I like browsing a lot through there. A lot of times I don't buy the items, but I do love you know, seeing like the different things that are out there because I'm not familiar with everything, of course, you know, and we can all learn different things, you know, every day. And some people might post one thing and, you know, and I go to another site and they might have it for a different price. And I kind of was wondering also about like how the pricing. That was like one of my things when I first started. I said, okay, so I have this person that's selling this item for so much and this one's selling it for so much. But then I kind of figured out, okay, it just depends on, you know, kind of like the condition it's in or just the person, you know, just every person puts their own prices, of course. But yeah, that was like one of my things that I wasn't sure what to sell the items for. And so I like doing that also, just browsing and, you know, kind of getting ideas. I know I visit your shop, Alyssa, which she's like a big seller. I like visiting her shop. And actually, like when I first started, your videos helped me a lot. And Alyssa's videos helped me a lot. I really, that's why I would leave comments and everything because I would always be seeing your videos and they were so helpful. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm so glad they help. I just do them for fun, but like you said, looking at other people's shops or watching other people's videos helps you get an idea of what is selling out there and the prices that they sell for. And of course, everything that you put on Etsy, it's up to you to determine what the price is. So if you find something, you know, seller A is selling it for this much, seller B is selling it for this much, you can decide to be somewhere in the middle, or you can decide, well, mine's better, I'm going to charge this much.
Exactly. That's the way I do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's a learning experience. You said your first item that sold, the Alf item, you might have sold at a very low price, and now you know better. It takes a while. It takes a while to get established and get things rolling. But I gotta say, you just launched like a rocket. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so grateful that you were able to talk to me about this today. Because just knowing that you watched my videos and that you learned a little bit from me, and then you went out on your own and you did it, and you've like way surpassed me. I'm like in the dust. So you're rocking and rolling, and that's just awesome.
Thank you so much. No, your videos are really helpful. They really are.
Well, I want to talk about your YouTube videos. Laura has a great YouTube channel that she updates very often. One of the unique things about her YouTube channel is that she speaks Spanish. So all of her YouTube videos are in Spanish for the Spanish-speaking community. She does videos about her Etsy store and selling and haul videos and stuff, but she also does some fun videos like unboxing videos. If she buys something, her and her son might open it. I've seen you do some like eating videos, like taste testing videos and stuff. You've got some great stuff on there. Tell us more about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, my YouTube, I just enjoy it. I enjoy it so much. I did start doing videos in English at first, and I threw in some Spanish ones. And I just saw people in Spanish. I guess they what it was, and I think what made me stick to the Spanish was that I would do thrift hauls, and that's how I really started, was with thrift hauls. But I would do them in English, and you know, I got a comment here and there. But then I did a thrift haul in Spanish, and I got so many comments and so many views, and I said, whoa, it's a big. And then I started searching for thrift hauls, and in English, everybody's thrifting, you know, or everybody's
we are.
videos.
We all are.
Spanish, there was no thrifting videos in Spanish. I don't know what it was. There was a lot of haul videos, but there was no thrift haul videos in Spanish. So I started doing those, and I just started bringing in people, and so I just stuck to the Spanish because of that. Because just a lot more people see me or watch me in Spanish, like Spanish viewers. And but I do like doing both. And then eventually my son wanted to be in the videos, and I said, okay, you can have your own channel, because he's young. I don't feel it's safe, at least not yet. Right. So I let him be in my videos. So once in a while we'll do like tasting videos or like challenges and stuff like that, just to make it fun. But yeah, so I do a lot of the thrift videos and thrift hauls, and even the Etsy sales videos that I started doing. I started doing a session. I started doing them in Spanish as well, because of the same reason, because the Spanish community can see that they can do it too. And
yeah,
so
that's absolutely fantastic. You've really built like a little brand for your YouTube, and I'm sure that also brings people to your Etsy shop who may not be familiar with Etsy. It's like, she sells on Etsy, I want to go see what that's about. And right. you're really just helping your community, and they're able to connect with you because of the language. So I think that's fantastic. For the folks that don't follow Laura's YouTube channel, I still think you should, because there are times where her videos get translated in English, and there's a little closed caption button down on the bottom of your YouTube screen where you can turn the captions on or off. For the most part, they're usually captions in Spanish, but every once in a while her videos do get translated. I don't know if that's a viewers of yours that do the translation for you, or if it just sort of happens with Google, they're able to do it. And the translations are not always 100% perfect in English, but they're definitely something that you can still understand and follow. So I still really enjoy watching your videos, and I do learn from you, even though I can't always understand what you're saying. But it's still just another person to connect to, and we've learned something great today. I mean, we need to be on the lookout for Barney. I would not have known that if I didn't get to meet you. So so excited about that.
Yes.
Well, Laura, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. I want to say thank you so much for letting me talk to you today. Thank you so much for following me and commenting on my videos. Watching your success has been an absolute inspiration for me. I have a lot of room to make up in order to become as successful as you have. So congratulations on your 1-year anniversary, and just keep rocking and rolling.
Thank you, definitely. I'll be around, and I did want to mention, because I know, like I said, my videos are in Spanish, but if you all are interested in me making English videos, please let me know. Just leave it, in the comments here with Teresa. I'll be on the lookout to the video to see, the comments, and it'll be fun to read everybody. So yeah, definitely. If you are interested in me making English videos, I'll be happy to. I just, like I said, haven't done it because more people follow me in Spanish speaking, but I'm definitely up for doing English videos as well. I can probably do both. That's one thing that I would do. I would do like English, and I would do a Spanish one. So I can really work on that. But yeah, thank you for having me, and thank you so much. And honestly, I really did learn a lot from you. You're like one of the reasons that I'm here today, and and as successful I really am. I mean, I did go to your video, and I said, I just got started because I really would see the videos, because I wanted to learn as much as I could to see tips, or and you were really helpful with that. And even your hauls, just seeing your hauls also, that would help. Like one thing that I have sold really quick before we go, I know we have to go. I know that you sell a lot of like little what is it called? Those plaques, like for the wall plaques?
Yeah.
Okay, like Hobby and stuff like that. I know you've like shown like different little plaques and little stuff for the wall. I have sold quite a few of those, and those thanks to you. Thank you, because I really see it. I said, oh, she's always buying these, so they must be good. And I started buying some. And I have sold quite a few of those. That's like one of my non-toy items that I have in my shop that I have sold. Thanks to you. Thank you.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, keep making your videos because, you know, you're giving back to the selling community and the Spanish-speaking community and teaching other people how great Etsy is. I'm a huge champion for Etsy. I love selling on Etsy. I want to get more people selling on Etsy. I welcome the competition. I don't see it as competition because, you know, we all run our shop differently. We all sell different things, and I think everybody can be successful selling on Etsy. And Laura is absolute proof of that. You know, just celebrating her 1-year anniversary, making $200 a week or more. This is perfect. Perfect example of a new seller doing great things on Etsy, which is exactly why I wanted to talk to you. So thank you again so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I'm going to put the links to Laura's Etsy shop and her YouTube channel below. Please leave a comment and go and subscribe to her channel. Check her out.
Thank you. Yes, I'll be expecting y'all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.